Hello, good morning. We're live. Okay. Working? Yep. Hello, hello, hello. All right, we'll start in just a minute. So get your mats out. If you want to put some jams on in the background, you can. I hope you're all having a good Monday. Monday? Is that what today is? I keep losing track. I don't know. Today we've got Whitney here, so here in spirit for our class. And then we'll get started on our mat. So just make your way to child's pose when you're ready. Let your big toes touch behind you, and then let the knees kind of open out to the side so that your belly can fall between the legs. And then just give yourself a few moments here just to turn inward. Wherever your arms are, try to let them curl out long in front of you now so that you're really reaching the fingertips towards the front edge of your mat. Trying to rest the forehead down. And then take the right arm, go ahead and thread it underneath your left armpit so that the right ear can come down to the mat, maybe the right temple or side of the head. And then bring it back through the center. And then evening yourself out, taking the left arm underneath the right armpit. And then returning back to the center. Now that we started to slow down just a little bit, try to bring your awareness and attention to your breathing. Feeling the body's natural response as the inhales pass between the nostrils. And the exhales contracting the deep low belly. May even create some sound here with the breathing. And the goal for the remainder of class is just to stay present with the breath. Feeling the depth of the inhale and the contraction of the exhale. On your next inhale, go ahead and come up to tabletop pose, your hands and knees, taking a moment just to ground yourself into the mat. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and drop the belly down low. Let the heart smile forward and up, chin lifts. As you exhale, press and round into your spine, stretch and lengthening all the vertebrae and muscles in the back. Inhale, drops the belly, heart opens, eyes look up. And then exhale, press and round the spine. You can take a few more of these at the rhythm and measure of your own breath there. So the inhales will let you open, and the exhales will round. And just a few more here, starting to find that deep breathing. We'll all meet up in a neutral spine here. Really planting the left hand down nice and firm. Start to let the right fingertips get light. Finding a little twist here through the back, rotating from the hips. And then as you exhale, lower down, threading that arm through. This time the hips are lifted, so it's a little different than that beginning child's pose. Right ear comes down to the mat. And just a second here to feel this. Feel that shift of weight forward. And then inhale to reach the right arm up nice and high into that twist. Exhale, right hand comes down for the other side. It's the left fingers that lift up, feeling that rotation. And then exhale, thread it through. Left ear comes down to the mat. In just a moment here. And then an inhale to reach the left arm up. We'll take that again, moving a little bit quicker here. Left hand comes down. The inhale opens the wings wide. And then exhale, drop it down to the mat. And then as you inhale next, reach it back up, open the wings. Starting to pick up the pace. Exhale, bring the hand down. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, threads it through. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, left hand down. One more time, right and left. Reach the right arm up nice and high. Exhale, thread and lower. Inhale, opens you. Exhale, place the hand down. Left arm reaches up. Starting to feel a little bit of heat activating here. Maybe some strength and power. Inhale, opens. Exhale, return to that tabletop in a side plank. Really pushing into the burn of the arms. 2 more breaths here. And then as you exhale, come back to plank pose. Shifting out into the right hand, opening up, left fingers reaching high. Pressing strong, letting those hips lift instead of sagging down. 1 more big breath in. Exhale, return to that plank pose. 5 deep breaths here. Really pushing into the mat. Letting that upper back start to round like a dome. 1 more big breath in. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Flip the toes, open the heart. It's up dog or cobra here. And then an exhale takes the hips back to downward facing dog. You can pedal through the feet here. Just feeling that length there in the backs of the legs. I have cat hair in my mouth. Good. Breathing strong and deep still. We'll rock forward to the top of a push-up again. Inhale. Exhale, lowers you down. Chaturanga. Hips can stay lifted or touch the ground for up dog or cobra on the inhale. And then exhale, it's downward facing dog. Big deep breath in, lift up to the tippy toes, look to the hands. Exhale, make your way to the front of your yoga mat. Just dangle here for a moment. You can grab opposite elbows. Or let the fingers just reach towards the floor. And then when you're ready, start to let the right fingers reach up towards the sky here. Finding a twist here. You can bend the left knee so you really get a deep stretch in that right leg. And then as you exhale, bring those right fingertips down. Taking it to the other side here. Inhale to lift the fingers up. A slight bend in that right knee to deepen the length of the left leg. And then exhale to come back down through the center. Take a half lift here. Bring the hands to your shins to look up and out. And then exhale to soften into the fold. You do that 2 more times here. A big deep breath in to look up and out for length. And then an exhale to soften down. Inhale, looking up and out. And then maybe sinking in a little bit deeper now into that forward fold. When you're ready, standing all the way up on your next breath in. And then exhale, catch the wrist, bend over to the right. Inhale to pass through the center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale brings you through the center. Lift the chin, look up towards the hands, and then exhale, dive forward, melting down. Half lift as you inhale, look up and out. And then exhale, plant the hands, step back to the top of your push-up. And then take that little sequence there, the chaturanga, that little yogi push-up. The heart opening on the inhale. And then the downward dog, 3 deep breaths here on the exhale. Really feeling the ribs reaching towards the thighs. The backs of the legs nice and long. And one more big deep breath in. And letting it go. Lift up to the tippy toes, look towards your hands, and then a stop, a step or a hop to the front of your mat. Good. Half lift as you inhale, then exhale, soften back down. Right fingers become light. Take that twist there. And then exhale to come down through the center. Inhale over to the left. Exhale back down. Take one more half lift to look up. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, stand all the way up. Reach the arms high. Side bend to the right. Big deep breath in to pass through the center. And then exhale, drip over to the left. Inhale brings you back. Chin lifts. The heart shines forward for back bend. And then exhale, diving forward to meet the legs. Inhale, half lift. And then an exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. You can take that push up, or you can just take the hips back if the arms are feeling a little fatigued. 3 deep breaths here all together. Breathing strong and full. Eyes looking between the knees or the thighs. Inhale up to the tippy toes. And then an exhale to make your way to the front of your yoga mat. Take a half lift. And then exhale to soften. Inhale, the right hand reaches for that twist. Exhale to come down through the center. Inhale to the left. Exhale down through the center. Another half lift to look up and out. And then exhale to sink as deep as you can. Stand all the way up. Reach the arms high. One more round through. It's a side bend. Inhale through the center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to the center. A little back bend to look up. And then exhale, dive forward. Half lift as you inhale. And then an exhale to step or hop back. Make your way to downward facing dog. And it's 3 deep breaths there. We'll all meet up. Heels inching down towards the mat. Breath is full and strong. Inhale up to the tippy toes. Look to your hands. Exhale, step or hop to the front of your yoga mat. Half lift to look up. Exhale to soften. We'll take that twist one last time. And inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, come down through the center. Inhale, open to the left. Exhale, down through the center. A half lift to look up and out. Exhale, melt the heart all the way down. Inhale to stand all the way up. Reach the arms high. And then exhale, come bring the arms down to the side, Samasthiti. We'll shift the weight over now into our left foot for tree pose, picking the right foot up, connecting the sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Or you can place it below the knee, towards the calf. If the balance is a struggle like it is for me today, you can also just cross the ankle over the shin. Let the toes act like a little kickstand. And then once you feel stable, try to let those toes lift up. Maybe connecting the foot at the calf or placing it on the inner thigh. Now that you have that heat built up, can you let the eyes pick one point of focus to help you root in, ground in to this little balance here. And then keep the breath strong. Good. Take that right ankle, start to cross it over the top of the left knee. And then as you exhale, sit the hips down into figure 4, one-legged chair, little balance here. Good. As you inhale, stretch that leg straight. And then exhale, try to sink those hips back down into that chair. Take that 2 more times. Inhale to straighten up. Exhale to sit back down. Inhale, straightens that left leg. Exhale 1 more time in the chair. Good. Inhale, stretch the leg straight, step the right foot down, and then take an exhale to fold forward, reaching for the toes. Half lift to look up and out. And then as you exhale, plant the hands, take your vinyasa here, and make your way to downward facing dog. And then from that down dog, the right foot just steps right in between the hands. Lower that back knee down towards the yoga mat, and then press those hips forward and down. Maybe lift up to the finger pads here. Just feeling that stretch in the hips. And start to engage the pelvic floor, maybe squeeze the belly up and in to build some foundation and stability on the hips. You can bring the hands to the knees, or even heart center, and maybe even lift them up by the ears, finding that balance here in that deep hip opening stretch. Trying to soften the hips down and forward. Wherever your arms are in this variation, try to open the heart just a little bit more so the chin lifts towards the ceiling, maybe feeling like a bigger back bend here. A deeper stretch through the front side of the body. Just a few more breaths. Good. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Step the right foot back. Take your vinyasa here, lower down to the bottom of your push-up. The heart lifts up and forward, looking towards the sky, and then exhale to downward facing dog. It's an exhale to step that left foot forward. The back knee gently lowers down. And then leave the hands down just for a moment to start to feel that dropping of the hips. Right hip really pressing forward and down, big stretch there. The pelvic floor engages, the belly lifts up and in. And then bring the hands to the knee, to heart center, maybe up by the ears. Whatever variation you're taking here, just dropping the hips deeper and lower. And then maybe letting that heart start to lift up and back so the chin can fall away from the chest. Big stretch. Good. As you exhale next, bring the hands down to the yoga mat. Step the left foot back. Make your way to downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths there. And then your inhale lifts you up to the tippy toes, look towards the hands. Make your way to the front of your yoga mat. A half lift to look up and out. Exhale, softens you back down. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach the arms high. Exhale, arms lowered down by the side, Samasthiti. Shift the weight now into the right foot. Finding that tree pose here. I'm going to turn so you can see John is facing the right way. You can take the hands at heart center, the foot to the calf, maybe up to the inner thigh. Just finding that point of balance. Grabbing onto your kitchen counter like me if you need some more support. And just finding a few moments to smooth out the breathing, but keep it steady and strong so the fire is still burning there. The heat still building. And then when you're ready, cross that ankle over the top of the knee there. And then an exhale to sit down into that chair. Nice and deep, as low as you can go. And inhale to stretch that leg straight, standing up tall. And then an exhale to sit back down into that chair. Again, standing up nice and tall. Exhale, I stop counting. Well, how many is that? 3? Do I do one more? No, that was it. Inhale, we'll do one more because I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the wall. Exhale, sit down into the chair. Inhale, stretching straight, straightening that leg, stepping the feet back down to the mat, reaching the arms up, and then an exhale to fold forward. A half lift to look up and out, and then exhale, plant the hands, make your way to downward facing dog. And from that down dog, it's the right foot that steps forward. This time we'll leave that back knee lifted. Lift up to the finger pads, finding that stability and balance. Pelvic floor engages, low belly lifts up and in. You can bring the hands again to the knee, to heart center, or maybe lift them up by the ears for a low crescent lunge. This time the shoulders can stay square over the hips. Just 2 more deep breaths, dropping lower and lower. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down, step the right foot back, make your way to downward facing dog. This time the left foot steps forward. Coming up to the tips of the fingers, feel that engagement there, pelvic floor, belly lifts and squeezes. And then when you're ready, bring the arms to the knee, heart center, or even up past the ears, next to the ears. Trying to let those hips drop down and forward just like they were in that other lunging shape with the knee down. Even if the front leg starts to quiver for these last 2 breaths here. Good. Your next exhale brings the hands down to the mat. Step back, lower down, chaturanga. Heart opens on the inhale. Exhale, it's 3 breaths in the downward facing dog. Inhale up to the tippy toes. Exhale, make your way to the front of the yoga mat. A half lift as you inhale. Exhale to soften down. Sink your hips down into chair pose here, Utkatasana now. Both legs touching the floor, but the hips dropped just as low as they were in that one-legged chair. Your belly is lifted up and squeezed so that pelvis tips, and it rocks the weight back into the heels. And just a few deep breaths here. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Start to twist the upper body to the right. Hook the left elbow onto the right knee. And then press down through the right hand so you really deepen that twist. Trying to bring the hands into the center of the chest. Maybe even over or closer to the left shoulder. Inhale brings you through the center. Exhale twists you over to the left. Right elbow on the left knee. Again, pressing down through that left hand to get the center of the chest in line with the hands. Dropping the hips a little bit deeper. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, make your way to downward facing dog. From your down dog, the knees soften to the yoga mat. The hips sink back for child pose. Observing the changes in the body here. Feeling the temperature rising. Maybe internal temperature. An awareness of the external temperature or the moisture on the skin. Feeling where the body is sinking heavy into the yoga mat. And seeing if you can maybe find a little more depth in that sinking. If the breath has started to lose that force and sound, try to activate that again. On your next big deep breath in, come up to tabletop pose, hands and knees. Feel the right fingertips start to become light. Reach them straight in front of you towards the wall. Finding balance here, 3 points of contact. The belly's lifted up, so don't let it sink down. Try to tip that pelvis so the belly's engaged and pulled in as the left leg starts to lengthen behind you. Finding that spinal balance here. Really using the abdominal muscles here to engage so there's no stress or strain on the low back because it's supported by the belly. I'm just holding here a couple breaths. Bringing the right hand down to the mat, keeping that left foot there. Flip the back right toes. Reach those left toes to the back of the room here as you start to lift up for one-legged plank pose. Hold here 3 breaths. Big deep breath in. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Flip the toes, open the heart up. So both feet are now on the ground. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Exhale to soften the knees down, coming into that tabletop pose. Taking the other side here, it's the left fingers that start to become light. Just finding balance here on both knees in one hand. Feel the engagement of the belly, protecting that low back as the right toes start to reach behind you. Finding that length here, just a few breaths. Really reaching in 2 directions. And then bringing the left hand down to the yoga mat. Left toes curl under, coming up. One-legged plank pose. It sounds like something a pirate would do if it's like peg leg. I guess this isn't the time to joke. As you exhale, lower down chaturanga. Toes come down, open the heart, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. It was so fun. Let's do it again. Right and left, lower the knees down. This time we'll inhale the right fingers up, find the balance. On the exhale, inhale the left toes high. We'll take 3 crunches here. Exhale, squeeze elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, squeeze and crunch. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to crunch. Good. Inhale, lengthens you out again. And then exhale, right hand down. Open up. One-legged plank. Take that chaturanga right away. Flip the heart. Open, looking up. Exhale, it's downward facing dog. Knees soften down, other side. Left arm reaches up, inhale. Exhale to balance. Inhale, right toes reach behind you. And then 3 crunches on the exhale in. Inhale, pulling out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Then the hands come down. Flip the toes, one-legged plank. The next exhale softens down. Heart opens as you lift up. Exhale, it's downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale the right toes up to the sky, 3-legged dog. And then exhale, step the foot between the hands. The back heel lowers down to the mat here. Warrior 1 as you start to lift up. Coming into this lunging shape, feel the left hip and the left shoulder pull forward. And the right shoulder, right hip pull backwards. Belly zipped up tight, eyes looking towards the top corner of the room or maybe even at the ceiling or sky, depending where you are. And then as you exhale, open up, warrior 2. Hips open now, the fingers reaching in 2 directions. Looking out over the right fingertips. I can't talk. I'm like out of breath. Left hand comes down to the left leg or crosses behind the back, reverse warrior. Big side body stretch, but maybe the lowest lunge that you've come to in class today. As you inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, let's come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. We'll take 5 breaths here. Really feeling that peeling back of the left shoulder. Opening of the side body, your hand reaching for the yoga mat, the shin, wherever you can balance. 2 more breaths. Exhale, look down to the yoga mat. Bring the left hand down next to the right foot, coming into a dragonfly twist. So It's a lunging shape, but the right arm opens up like big wings. And then as you exhale, come into a seated spinal twist. So the back leg that's long is going to bend and come to the outside of the right foot. I'll turn sideways so you can see me. The right hand comes behind you. Lift the left arm up nice and high. And then round into this hooking of the elbow. So really get in there as deep as you can. And then as you exhale, start to twist and look behind you. Really getting a deep rotation through the spine. It starts in the hips, moves through the middle body, and up into the shoulders. And then the cherry on top is the chin reaching as far to the right as it can go. And spend a few deep breaths here. Each of those exhales, maybe trying to gain a centimeter of depth. As you exhale, look back to the front. I'll stay facing sideways and John will face the way that you are on your mat. But inhale to bring the soles of the feet together for a Baddha Konasana, the spine lifts long, and then an exhale to fold forward. Letting the elbows rest on the thighs or the shins to help soften those hips a little bit more open. Let the head round down. Just spending about 2 more breaths here. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. Bringing the knees together, placing the feet flat on the floor in front of you. We'll take the hands behind us. We're going to come into reverse tabletop with the knees bent here. So reverse tabletop here. Lift the hips up as you inhale. The chin can fall away from the chest. And we'll spend about 5 breaths here. So really try to push into the hands so that those hips can really lift. If the thighs start to separate, pull them in together. 3 more breaths. And then exhale to softly let the hips come back down. Inhale, lift the toes up, Navasana, boat pose. Spending just a couple breaths here. I won't be too mean, but maybe you can straighten the legs here for the last 3 breaths. And then as you exhale, crisscross the ankles, place the hands down in front of you, and then step back, top of a push-up. Make your way to downward facing dog. Preparing for that same sequence here on the left side. The left toes reach high to the sky. Exhale, step between the hands. The back heel lowers down, will come up, warrior 1. Reaching those arms nice and high, those hips, right hip, right shoulder pressing forward, letting the left hip, left shoulder flow backwards. Hips dropping low. Big breath in. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale into that reverse warrior here, reaching the left arm back. Lowering into that lunge there, more bend in that left knee. Inhale, stretches that left leg straight. Exhale, tips 5 breaths, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Feel the right shoulder peeling back. Eyes trying to look up, but if you need some stability, you can look down to build that foundation. And then maybe look to the side or up towards that top hand. Your next exhale to look down at the mat. Right hand comes next to the left foot for dragonfly twist. Left fingers reaching up nice and high. We're going to keep that twist going. The back knee is going to bend and be placed right outside that left foot. I'll twist. John will stay front. Left hand behind you, right fingers reach up nice and high. And then as you exhale, hook the left elbow, rounding in. And then inhale to lengthen and rotate into the twist there. Using the exhale to twist deeper. Exhale to look back to the front. Inhale, stretch the legs long now. This time, straight legs. Feet are flexed, arms lift high. And then an exhale to fold forward. And just allow the heart and the head to soften forward. And just a couple breaths here to feel the length of the backs of the legs. Inhale, gently lift up. You can bend the knees again like we did before, or you can leave them straight. We're going to take a reverse plank, but if the option is to bend the knees there if you need. Taking the hands behind you again. This time you'll lift the hips with those straight legs. Point the toes, trying to reach the toes down towards the ground mat below you. The hips lifting up nice and high. Chin falls away from the chest. Just a few breaths here. One more big breath in to lift as high as you can, and then exhale, hips soften down to the mat. The next inhale lifts you up into that boat pose here. Just about 5 deep breaths here all together. Good. One more big inhale to lift. And then exhale, lower all the way down onto the back, hugging the knees into the chest. Rocking side to side. And then placing the feet flat on the floor. The hands come down by the sides, palms facing the mat. And then as you inhale, start to lift those hips up off the ground, really pressing into the feet there. Getting a big stretch to the front side of the body. Holding this bridge pose here, breathing deep into the sensations that start to raise up in the legs. Good, pushing a little bit deeper into the feet there so that the hips lift even higher. And then as you exhale, gently let the hips soften down to the yoga mat. The right toes lift up, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Press the hands flat down onto the mat, and then as you inhale, press into the foot. Start to let the hips lift up off the yoga mat. Good, really pressing into that left foot. Finding that stability on the one leg that's pressing down into the mat. One big breath in to lift. Exhale, let the hips soften down, but don't let them touch the yoga mat. As you inhale, lift them back up again and hold. Breath is strong. Each inhale trying to lift up higher. Good. Exhale, soften the hips down. Don't let them touch. Inhale, press up and lift. 2 breaths. Big breath in. Exhale, softens down one more time. Don't let it touch. And then inhale, press up. Big breath in. Exhale, let the hips lower all the way down to the mat. Uncross the legs. You can let the knees sway side to side. And picking up the left foot, crossing the left ankle over the right knee. When you're ready, pressing into the right leg there. Inhale, lift the hips up. Feeling that right leg strong, pushing the right foot into the ground, the hips lifting up. As you exhale, let the hips soften, almost touch the ground, and then inhale, press. Lift the hips up again, 2 breaths. Fill up the lungs, the low belly with air. Exhale, lower the hips gently, don't let them touch. Inhale, lift it back up. 2 breaths. Breathing in. Exhale, soften, don't let it touch. One more push, lift, 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 lift. As high as you can get those hips, really pushing strong into the right foot. Legs are shaking, quivering, and then exhale softens you all the way down to the mat. Uncrossing the legs, hugging the knees into the chest, rocking side to side, pressing the low back into the mat. And start to rock forward and back along the length of the spine until you come up to a seated position. Straighten the legs out long in front of you. The right sole of the foot will connect to the left inner thigh. Arms lift high on the inhale, and then exhale to soften forward over the left leg. And you'll spend about a minute or two here, so really let the breath help you sink into the shape. Try to let the body relax here and feel some of that release from those awful bridge poses. About 5 more deep breaths. Noticing if you're still gripping or holding on anywhere and trying to just let that release. Inhale, gently coming up. Exhale to switch sides. Right leg extends long. Left sole of the foot connects to the inner thigh. And then when you're ready, just crawling out over the right leg. Again, noticing where you might be gripping, holding some tension, or maybe not letting go as deep as you can, and try to soften into the shape for the next few moments. As you inhale, gently start to sit up. I turn sideways so you can see. We're going to take the right leg and start to cross it over, trying to stack the knees on top of knees. So you want the right knees to kind of come right over the top of the left knees. With any kind of variation that they fall wherever you can get them crossed. The goal is we're going to try to get a deep stretch into the hips here. So any approach to get into the shape you need. But just trying to find yourself here. Feel the right hip start to ground down so that there's equal balance and grounding through the hips. And then just gently start to crawl the hands forward. You'll feel some sensation in both sides of the hips. Just try to find a place where you can soften against any edge that starts to arise. That's the real work of this practice. Not backing away, using it as a test for the real world edges, the real world challenges that arise. We've got a little bit more time here, so try to sink in, surrender just a little deeper. And gently starting to crawl yourself up. And in any way you can, try to uncross the legs. Stop through any shapes that you need. Maybe straightening them out before you make your way to the other side. With the left knee on top this time. And when you're ready, gently trying to crawl the hands out and soften over the other side. Again, finding that edge, really walking yourself right up to it, and then just breathing into the sensations, into the thoughts or feelings that start to arrive, and allowing the breath to be the guide for those thoughts, those sensations and feelings to just subside and gently drift away. Just a few more deep breaths here. Inhale to gently crawl yourself back up to seated. Carefully uncrossing the legs and making your way down to your back, laying flat on the mat. Once you're there, squeeze the knees into the chest. We'll just take a easy spinal twist here. Letting the knees soften down to the right. The arms can open out to the side like a T or bend to the elbows like a cactus. Just a minute here to feel a gentle twist, but also let the body start to cool down after the intense movement, the deep release and the stretching. Inhale brings your knees through the center. And then exhale, softening to the other side. Inhale, one last squeeze of the knees before stretching the legs out long, finding a resting place for the hands, maybe down by the sides or on the hips or belly. And then using this last shape to really turn inward here. If there are distractions in the house, maybe kids trying to learn or fight or whatever it may be, use this last few moments for you. The last pose of our class today, Shavasana, take rest. I'll wake you in a few moments. Beginning to deepen the breath on your next inhale. Sighing out on an exhale. You can wiggle the fingers and toes, maybe even let out a yawn. And any stretches, morning stretches, arms over the head. Turning his head side to side. Bending the knees, anything that feels good. And making your way through any shapes to a seated meditation. Bringing your hands to heart center. I know for me that I feel like I've come up against the edge of this quarantine. Just remembering to soften around it, knowing that it will pass. Exhale, bowing forward to seal in your effort and practice today. And then inhale to sit up tall. Exhale to blink the eyes open. Namaste. Thanks for being here. Have a great Monday and a great week. And I can't wait till we're all in the studio practicing together. All right, thank you guys.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.